Poor David. He's never going to actually get a real lesson here. Hey, David, we're recording now. I deeply apologize. We're on page 2. My bad. Okay. So, next up, I'm not sharing anymore, am I? There you go. Okay. So next up, we are going to start here on the x-axis. This one is going to go up to, I guess we might as well just go up to 6 this time instead of 8. I don't know why I did that last time. This is a frequency. On the bottom again, we've got age of child liars. By the way, David, if you're wondering what the heck is she talking about there, I asked them how old they were when they first lied to their parents, and then everybody ended up saying 2 or 3, so I had to say 8 to balance it out and make this so we could actually graph some stuff. It was not my best choice. All right, so it starts
for the bottom where you put age of a child liars. If you were just to put a class boundaries down there, would that still count?
Yes, but this, what I like doing about this right here is that, like, if you're on an AP test, then you would also, if you wrote class boundaries down here, you'd have to write a title on your graph up here. You see what I mean? Because you still have to like tell somebody what this graph is about. But if you put it down here, then it's kind of saying these are what these numbers are.
Okay.
So on top or on bottom, your call. All right, so the first one was 6. And then back down to 0, and then 1, and then 0 again. So it's going to look like this. It's going to go up and down, and up and down. All right, moving on. Relative frequency histogram. Histogram is a bar chart, and it's a bar chart about relative frequency. Can you believe that the first time this did this, this took us like weeks to do? Yeah. And yet that's how long it takes to teach people the first time. Isn't that nuts? Mm-hmm. But isn't it funny how you can do it so fast right now? And the first time everybody was like, what is happening? I don't understand any of this. All right. So let's see. On this side, I'm putting relative frequency. This side, we got those child liars.
Can you move the paper up a little bit?
Is that better? Okay. And then and this is a relative frequency histogram. 0.2, 0.6, 0.8. Oh, 0.4 comes after 0.6. Am I a math teacher? Probably not. All right, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1. First category from our frequency distribution said it was 86%. Next category was nothing, and then I think we were at 14%. You should notice that the frequency histogram and the relative frequency histogram essentially look exactly like the same shape. The only thing that's really different is the markings on the side tell you a percentage rather than a frequency. How we doing, Caitlin? You look like you're still writing.
I'm good.
Okay. And the last one we're doing is an ogive. This one looks like a line graph. Anybody remember what this one's all about? An ogive. This one's cumulative frequency. Which means this one we definitely need to go up to 8. Even though a lot of people think it's hard to understand what class boundaries are, I feel like once you got it, then you can pretty much use those as your x-axis for almost every graph we do. The important thing to remember is that on an ogive, the cumulative frequency goes on the upper point of the class. So the point goes on the upper boundary. What'd you say? Okay, so the first class we got 6 in it. And then the second class, nothing happens, but we stay at 6. And then the third class, we go up to 7. I hope I didn't rush you today. I tried to go fast. I'm sure you can tell. I think you know how I told you that it counts, your homework counts as done if you do 3/4 of it? I think this might be one of those assignments where you really should consider that if you're understanding it. This is the homework. I wrote it out here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 problems. So I would accept if you did 7 problems. I would call it complete. So make sure that you skip what you think is appropriate. If you do not feel comfortable making an ogive, then make sure that that's one of the problems you do. If you're super comfortable making a frequency histogram, then skip that one. Use your time wisely. You've got 45 minutes to do this, so hopefully that's enough time to just get it done. They are all graphs. I do want your graphs on graph paper. If you do not have graph paper at your house, then you can draw them in your notebooks for today, but make sure that when you're in my class next that you are grabbing graph paper. For those of you who are in here, there's graph paper right next to the treasure chest. You can go grab a handful if you want to. Anybody have any questions for me before we go?
How many did you say we have to do again?
What did you say?
How many did you say we have to do again?
7 out of 10.
Okay, gotcha.
How do you feel about my expectations for you guys so far?
No, I'm good. Good.
Yeah, you don't feel like I'm giving you too much to do?
No.
Do you feel like I'm going way too fast?
No.
I won't go this fast when we're learning new material. Since we're learning old material, I'm just like, remember, 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 remember. And that's mostly for people who haven't taken this class in like a year. Because you are going to have to know all of this going on. The other thing I want to know is, what was I going to ask you? I suppose I can stop the video now. Sorry about not doing the first half, David, my bad.